Here's the basic pattern to make a granny square, like the ones I'm making for my granny square vest. So each one has a different color center, and that's one round, and then 2 rounds of this white with speckled colors in it. So the first part is to make this center part, and it is 4 clusters of 3 double crochets each. So I'll show you how to make that. We'll make another yellow one. Start with your slip knot, and then we're going to chain. It's really up to you. I like to do about 4 to give myself a little room. After you chain 4, you connect the last chain to the first chain with a slip stitch, and then you chain 2. This chain 2 counts as your first double crochet out of 12, and then I'm widening this tiny hole in the middle of the circle that I've just made, and here is double crochet number 2, double crochet number 3. In between each cluster of 3, we do chain 1. Here is the second cluster. Oops. And then we're going to chain 1. Here's the third cluster. Chain 1. And then if you want to move these around the circle, give yourself a little bit more room. That's how you do it. And here is the fourth cluster. Then we're going to connect the fourth cluster to the first cluster. So I chain 1, and I'm going to go into this first top of the first double crochet, which was actually chains, and connect it with a slip stitch. All right, now we're going to switch colors. All right, so I'm going between the clusters, picking up the new color, and chaining 2. That's my first double crochet. Then we finish the first cluster of 3, chain 1, that's your corner, and your second cluster of 3. Okay, got one corner done. Chain 1. If you really want to or need to, you could chain 2, but we're going over to this next corner, and we're doing 2 clusters of double crochets. There's cluster 1. Here's a chain. That's your second corner. Here's cluster 2. Now we're moving on to cluster 3, so I chain 1, and then all the way in there. That chain right there was the third corner. We are squaring up. Three corners done, chain, and then there's the fourth corner right there. Now some people might like to crochet the ends in as they go. I didn't do that yet, but I might do that on the next round. All right, now I chained one, and then again I am going through the V of this top chain over here and then connecting with the slip stitch. Since I'm using the same yarn, I don't have to cut, I don't have to do anything like that. I'm just going to chain two, flip the whole thing over, and we're going to go around this counterclockwise. This first two chains, that counts as my first double crochet. Now on each side of the square, we're going to do one cluster, and again in each corner, we'll do two clusters. So we need two more double crochets here on the side. Chain one, go into the corner, so we're going to be doing two clusters of three. And again, those are separated by one stitch. Corner stitch, one stitch, one cluster in the side here, one stitch, two clusters in the corner. You can see that those one stitch spaces are forming where you're going to go the next round. All right, we turn the corner. One stitch, there's the third side. So only one cluster in the side spaces, two clusters in the corners. Oh, I didn't do enough. So I'm going to pull out. I only did two here. I was getting excited. There we go. And you can just keep on going. If you want a bigger motif, you can go around and around. You can switch colors. But I'm keeping these a uniform size, and then I will attach them all together for my granny square vest. All right, last corner. And I counted how many I need to make. It's something like 72 for this vest. So I really need to get moving. But it's going to look so pretty when it's done. Okay, and then we're going to connect with a slip stitch. And there you have it.